I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me.
Well, it was Palm Sunday, and the whole family was going to church. And unfortunately, little Ronnie wasn't feeling so good. He had a sore throat, so he had to stay home, and the rest of the family went. So they went to the Palm Sunday service, and when they came back, they all had palm leaves. And little Ronnie said, what are all the palm leaves for? And his sister said, well, you know, when Jesus walked, they held the palm leaves over his head. And little Ronnie was like, oh, wouldn't you know it, the one Sunday I don't go to church, Jesus shows up. So when I grew up, I was part of a church called Eastside Christian Church in Long Beach, California. And it was Disciples of Christ Church. And we used to celebrate communion every Sunday. And they had these big chrome containers that had, like, I don't know, 60 or something cups in them, right? And then they had trays with, like silver trays with bread on them. Anybody remember such a thing, right? And my dad was an usher in the church, or a deacon, and they would pass these out, and everybody would take a little tiny piece of bread. And I always wondered, you know, are these expensive? Or how come we just have these little tiny pieces of bread, right? And so they go around, they pass the bread, and you take your bread and you put it in your mouth, and it's like gone, right? And then they come around with these trays of grape juice and like little shot glasses. Right? Not even a shot glass, right? Barely a sip of grape juice. Well, you know, nobody really knows, but I used to sneak into the kitchen, and with one of my buddies in Sunday school, and after the service is over, we drink a whole bunch of that grape juice. But anyway, they pass around these little cups, and the same thing. I always wonder why these little tiny cups. But it was something that meant something to me, right? Even though I didn't understand the language or what it was all about, but I really knew that there was something in this ceremony, in this ritual, that had deep meaning for me. And I didn't know until I got much older and really discovered unity, the amazing depth of what we were doing. And so today we're going to celebrate the Holy Communion, or actually I'm calling it mystical communion, because I believe it's a mystical thing that we're about today. It's not so much about the wine and the bread and our usual ideas about those elements, but it's about what do they mean to us on a deeper spiritual level. And so even though I've done communion, even in a church, a unity church, and find that there's great value sometimes in going through the process with the actual elements, right? Especially when you talk about what the metaphysics are. So, but today we're going to look at it metaphysically. What does it mean? How can we incorporate these ideas into our soul, into our spirit, so that we really embrace them on a deep level? Now, the Last Supper was the last meal that Jesus had with his disciples before he was crucified, and it probably took place in what's called the upper room, which is, many biblical scholars think it was the home of the parents of John Mark. And the upper room, metaphysically, represents a higher state of consciousness. You know, oftentimes when Jesus would go to someplace to receive inspiration, it was like this in the upper room, or he would go to the top of the Mount of Olives, right? So it represents that being in that place of just connecting with the wholeness, with the truth, with the expansiveness of our consciousness. And it was the custom in those days for a person entering the house to take off his sandals before they got together and ate or socialized. And somehow or another, on this day, perhaps because of all that was going on, the apostles forgot to wash their feet. And so Jesus was like, I'll do that. And they were shocked, right? Here is our teacher going to get down on his knees and wash our feet. Now, I think there's great significance in this because, the feet represent understanding. It's what stands under our spiritual self. And so Jesus washing the disciples' feet represents cleaning their consciousness so that they can accept what was going on, accept the truth of what was happening. And Jesus represents the Christ in us all. And so I'm going to refer today to Jesus, the man, and I'm also going to refer to the Christ, which really has nothing to do with Jesus. Jesus became the Christ. He fully embodied this Christedness of who he is. And lots of times people get confused about the two, and that's why I like to draw the distinction so that we're sort of all in the same page of understanding. The Christedness stands for that essence of that is within all of us. It's within all spiritual teachings. And I think it can be confusing when we talk about the Christ. And when we do so, we're not talking about Jesus. We're really talking about the essence of who he became as a representative of somebody who reached this awakened state that we call Christ consciousness. So let's look at the ceremony itself. Let's look at the elements of what they mean. So then Jesus took a loaf of bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave to them, saying, "This is my body, which is given to you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the physical realm, the food that we eat is incorporated into our body and becomes who we are. It sustains us. It nourishes us. Likewise, the bread that Jesus offered his disciple he was inviting them to become one with his teachings. He was saying, don't just think of taking the teachings that I'm giving you in and to be the nourishment of your spirit in the same way that bread and food nourishes your body. Bread symbolizes the body or the embodiment of the Christ consciousness. It's the substance of spirit. It's the creative energy out of which everything comes. In the Aramaic language, and Jesus said, "Do this in remembrance of me." It's not so much about remembering him. He's asking us to remember, and this statement is translated into Aramaic, the language that Jesus spoke, as, "I love you, therefore I am always with you." Our love is a powerful bond, and we cannot ever be separated from it. So he's reminding us that Christ essence is always within us, and that essence is about love. That's the truth of who we are. And it's that bond of love that unites all of us spiritually. In unity, we are, I think you'd admit, a pretty unique group of people. And we share some really amazing ways of being. We tend to be more open-minded. We tend to be accepting. We tend to work on loving ourselves and loving each other. And we tend to see that love being a universal truth. And we really work on how can we be a part of that universal truth? We really understand that we are a community in spirit, a community of oneness, and we really work on being that oneness in the world and seeing that in the world. So I invite you to look around the room at these people that have a lot of commonality with you, and to, as you do so, to look eye to eye, soul to soul, and to think or to say, I am one with you, and you are one with me. And just do that, say that, think that. I know even though we have masks on, many of us, our eyes communicate. So let's look around and know that for each other. So this ceremony, this celebration that we're doing today, this communion that we're having, is really about recognizing and remembering the essence of who we are. We don't always get a chance to look at people in this way and really seeing them, really loving them, or they're really being present for them, for this community. Charles Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, taught that the true communion happens between us and between this essence of spirit that's everywhere in the universe. And he wrote, in the silence, go before the altar and lay your problems before God. That altar is the place in consciousness where you are willing to let go of the lesser for the greater. To let go of personality and enter into the individuality of Christ, into the allness of Christ. And he's reminding us to let go of the little stuff. Let go of the judgment. Let go of the prejudice. Let go of anything that separates us from the truth of who we are. As we celebrate this mystical communion, we open our hearts and our minds, and we blend in with the universe, with the allness in the universe, with the connectedness to all life. And by partaking in the elements of wine and bread, even as we do it metaphysically today or symbolically today, we are impressing on our consciousness this willingness, this acceptance, this ability to go deeper, to go into that place where we experience love. And in the same way, he took the cup and said, this cup, which is poured for you, poured out for you, is a new covenant in my blood. Now, when I was a kid, I kind of went, what? Because we just don't talk this way, right? But metaphysically, wine symbolizes the life of spirit. It symbolizes that energy of power, of connectedness. It's that power that each one of us has by celebrating and being one with our spiritual practice. It's about when you know the truth and you feel the truth and you stand in that truth, there's a power that happens. Ever felt that way? When you absolutely got this guidance? And so here, this is Jesus would refer to this as the blood of spirit, because it's the essence. It's the life of who we are. It's the vitality. And to partake of the wine is to tap into these living waters of the Christ essence within us. And sometimes, what I like about this ceremony is we're making a conscious choice to tap into that energy and to say, okay, I'm recognizing that I have this energy within me, this power within me. Accept the harmony, the peace, the wisdom, and the love that's available to us right now. So just take a moment and sort of turn inward and just feel this. Let this be like a communion with you, with spirit, with who you are. And to feel this connection with the essence of life that's within you. To feel this life force. And now we'll do a little bit of a responsive reading. And it says when it's my part, it looks like that. And when it's your part, it says me and you, or something to that effect. Should just say all of us, right? Everyone, yeah. Okay. So as we enter into this time of communion, of seeking an inner awareness of our oneness with God, we remember when Jesus took the bread in his hands and he gave thanks for it and he broke it. And he gave it to the disciples saying, "This is my body, which is given to you. Do this in remembrance of me." And this is our part. Let's say it together. I take the bread of life, the spiritual substance. I open my heart and mind to the Christ presence. I am filled with the radiant, living life of the Christ. Together. I am the love of Christ in expression. I am the love of Christ in every cell of my body is alive with the glory of God. I wrote it twice, and I said it twice. Let's just say it once more together. I am the love of Christ in expression. Every cell of my body is alive with the glory of God. Dear friends, partake now of this divine substance of spirit and affirm softly, God, you are in me and I am a part of you. Let's say it together and then we'll sit in the silence for a moment. Together. God, you are in me and I am a part of you. as mentioned before, the wine is the essence and the vital energies of the Christ Spirit. That which we drink is a symbol of the living waters of eternal life. This is the divine energy that purifies our consciousness and brings it new life. By symbolically drinking of this cup, we remember that we are one with the vitality and the essence of Spirit. And this love guides our thoughts and our actions. And let's say this together. I now drink in the life of Christ and know that the Christ Spirit of truth brings harmony, peace, and wisdom to my heart and mind. Together, I feel the creative power of life moving within me. I am one with the Christ. I am one with the living essence of life. So, friends, I invite you to partake now of this life essence of Spirit and affirm softly once more, God, you are in me, and I am in you. Let's say that again. God, you are in me, and I am a part of you. And let's take a breath and speak this affirmation to our higher self. Together. The love of God fills my mind and heart, and I am at peace. And so it is. I invite you to close your eyes and take a few leisurely, deep breaths. Moving into the upper room of your consciousness, into that place where you are able to experience your oneness with your higher self. Breathing in and breathing out. Imagine that your thoughts can travel back in time and space. And perhaps even to be in the upper room. To feel the camaraderie and the love of the disciples, to feel the love of this congregation, this community, to feel the love of so many dear people around the earth, so many that have lived and some who have left. And to know that in this place, in this upper room, you are one with this essence, one with the Christ essence, one with the power of life, one with the truth that you are. And imagine that you feel the presence of your Christ self, your higher self. And that presence enfolds you in such a way that you hear, "Come, my dear one, be here with me." Brush away the dust of your mind and join with me in this celebration of life. You are in me and I am in you. And we are one. One in spirit, one in God, one in love. Let's break this bread and share love's goodness. Drink this wine from the chalice of life and feel the vitality moving through every aspect in your mind, in your spirit, in your body, in your soul. Feel the energy of truth impressing you in new and powerful ways. Feel its presence in your heart. Feel your mind filled with a newness, a new purity, a new essence, new possibilities. And perhaps you find yourself thinking and saying, "I am open. I am open and receptive to divine love. I am open and receptive to this oneness that flows as me." Come. Come. I am one with my true nature. As I breathe in, I recognize that I am one and immersed in the presence of pure being. I acknowledge the gift of life within me. I know that I am one with the creative energy of the universe. Breathing in, breathing out, I see with new eyes. I see with a new mind, a new consciousness. And I realize everything is holy now. Everything. My life, my friends, my community, my thoughts, everything is holy now. Well, I invite you now to prepare your holy offerings and your that which you'd like to share with Unity on Maui. And for those of you watching us on Facebook, I invite you also to share with us. You can go to our website, www.unityonmaui, and make a donation there. Or you can also send us a donation to Unity on Maui at 483 South High Street in Wailuku. And thank you for your gifts. They certainly help us to do what we do here at Unity on Maui. And I believe, too, that as you contribute to us, you are under the umbrella of all that we do. I believe that we have a very unique and special message for ourselves and for the world. And it's one that I know is creating more love and light and peace on our planet. So thank you for being a part of that. So now as you hold your gifts, let's pray and affirm our prayer for prosperity together. Let's say it together. Through a grateful, giving heart, my mind and life overflow with the abundance of God's all-providing, infinite supply. And so it is. God bless and namaste. All right. So, loving Spirit, thank you for these gifts that have come from you to us. We hold them, we bless them, we give thanks for them. And we know that they are moving in and through and as this ministry out into the world. And we behold a world filled with love, with light, with joy, and with peace. And so it is. Thank you. Let's give another hand to Robin. Yeah, what do you say? Oh, my goodness. Today's flowers are offered, actually they're arranged by Kealoha. For Alan, they were here yesterday for Cindy's memorial service or celebration of life. And we thought, oh, let's just keep them around another day. 'Cause, wow. Is that a wow or is that a wow? My, wow. And let's see. You know what we should do? We should probably sing happy birthday to Alan, one of probably many times today. And anyone else, anybody else have a birthday in April? Would you raise your hand and stand up as well? So we're going to sing to everyone, as well as Alan, for getting another digit today. Ariel too, yep. And Jason. Woo! Emily.
Yeah?
Anybody else?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
We know how old she is, but
No,
we won't
push.
tell. I'm sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want your musician not to be on your side, right? So, let's sing happy birthday, yes?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ed. Happy birthday to you.
So we will be having cake after the service today, so hang around. We'll get that out to you. It's a guarantee to help you to live at least till tomorrow. All right, so if you'd like to donate flowers on Sunday, please sign up in the back there and let us know how you'd like those flowers to be dedicated, and we'd love to recognize you on Sunday morning. All right. Oh, Easter's coming up. In fact, Easter is next week. And we've got a marvelous service planned with Robin and our hula and with Unity Joy singers. And we're going to have a marvelous time. And we do ask that you sign our reservation sheet in the back because of parking, we only have enough space for, we're figuring, about 30 people. So we're doing 2 services, one at 9 and one at 11. And please sign up to come to one of those services. And if you're part of our team, if you're a joy singer or you're hula, or you're on our tech team, you don't have to sign up. We know who you are.
Hey, we're going to sing after the party, after service today.
Oh.
Those of you who want to come and sing with me next week, I guess we'll meet here.
Yeah.
And we're going to learn 2 easy songs, so after the cake, all right?
After cake. We must have cake first. Let them eat cake, someone famously said. So that's right, Marie Antoinette. And she lost her head over it, I think. The cake was, I think we'll just keep moving. Oh my goodness. All right, so the next thing is our dear friend Kurt is still healing. I've got a good report from him. I heard that he's out running a lot of his own errands now and doing some things. He's from what I understand, he's getting chemo and some other treatments. He has something 5 days a week, but I understand he's doing better. So keep him in your thoughts and your prayers. And if you'd like to make a contribution to him, you can look at our newsletter, or if you just did a search for GoFundMe, you'll find the place where you can donate to Kurt. And you can also donate to Kurt's and Louise's daughter, Joy. You know, her husband mysteriously died just a month ago hiking in California. And so there's a fundraiser for Joy and her children and the family out there as well. Also in our newsletter, also available on GoFundMe.com. And there's also one for Alan Reed in celebration of his birthday. He is getting this amazing chair, which sings and dances, and it does all kinds of great things. And so, thank you for contributing to Alan for the next 100 years.
Yes. Just by the way, Kurt has been moved into a new apartment in North.
That's right. Yep, Kurt has a new apartment and a great space for him. All right, and let's see. Thanks, Michael, for getting some of us lost yesterday. I haven't seen Michael today, so maybe they really got lost. I don't know. They did quite a difficult hike yesterday, and I haven't heard how that went. Did anybody go to that? Okay. There was a lot going on yesterday. We had Cindy's memorial, as you know, or celebration of life yesterday. And by the way, it's on Facebook if you couldn't be here yesterday, and it's also on YouTube. I posted it on YouTube this morning. So a couple of ways that you can see that. And oh, by the way, if you want to be a van driver, we have opportunity for people to help us on Sunday morning to drive our van. And this was the van that we used for this vision to get a new van. And so here is what the new van looks like. And it's all back in that corner right there if you want to go check it out. We have a few things we need to do to it to get it ready to bring us back and forth from the county buildings on Sunday, so it won't be happening probably for the next couple of weeks. We have to get some kind of stairs and other things to make it really feasible for all of us to get us on and off it safely. So, but thank you to everyone who contributed to this. Let's give ourselves a really big hand of applause. It's amazing. I think we were able to come up with $11,000, and which is what we paid for this van. So we are so blessed. Thank you for being a part of a prosperous community. And if you enjoyed my lesson today and you want to know and take home some of the ideas from it, my Walk Your Talk is on the table at the back. It's kind of a summary of what we talked about today. Yeah. Okay, Joy's saying that if you want to be Mike Fleenor, who is doing the Get Lost community activity, if you want to be a part of that or you want to have ideas for him, he's open to ideas. You can check out his flyer. His number is on the flyer. Okay, so why don't we stand? We'll pray together the prayer for protection, and then we'll say the peace song together, and then we will let them eat cake. So let's say the prayer for protection together. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being here. Mahalo and aloha.
Where I live, there are rain.